Section 5.1, Exponents. Question number 4. Evaluate minus 4 with parentheses around to the power of 4. The parentheses here indicate that minus 4 is the base, so the minus is part of the base. And we have an even exponent, and that should tell you that our result is going to be positive. If we write out every step, we get minus 4 times minus 4 times minus 4 times minus 4. The minus 4 times the minus 4 is 16, because that's a negative times a negative. Pairs make positive. Pairs of negatives are positive. And then we have another pair of factors, minus 4 times minus 4, and that again is positive 16. 16 times 16 is 256. Number 6. We're asked to simplify 7 times z to the 4th power times 8 times z. Well, first we multiply the numbers. 7 times 8, we get 56. And then multiplying z to the 4th times z is easy to do because we can apply the product rule. Why can we apply the product rule? Because we have the same base, z and z. Whenever the base is the same, you can simply add the exponents. On the right, you see the rule, b to the power of m times b to the power of n. So some base to the power of m times another base, same base to the power of n, is that base with the exponents just added. So we're going to add our 4 on the first c and the 1 on the second c. So we get z to the power of 4 plus 1 is z to the power of 5. So we have 56 times z to the power of 5, and that is our answer. Number 7. Simplify 6 times p to the power of 7, and that whole expression is raised again to the power of 2. So here we're going to apply the power rule. It's really the power of the product rule, but it's just the power rule applied to both factors within the parentheses. The power rule is b to the power of m, so some base to the power of m, raised again to the power of n. That is b to the power of m times n. We multiply the exponents. So with the product rule, we added the exponents. With the power rule, we're multiplying the exponents. So we multiply the 1 on the 6 times the 2, and we multiply the 7 on the p times the 2. So that gives us 6 to the power of 2 times p to the power of 14. 6 to the power of 2 is 6 times 6, which is 36, p to the power of 14. Number 8. Simplify r over s raised to the power of 13. This again is a version of the power rule, the power quotient rule, where the r and the s, the exponents on the r and the s, need to be multiplied by the power outside the parentheses. The rule is a over b to the power of n is equal to a to the n over b to the n. So in our problem, we take the 1, the exponent of 1 on the r, and we multiply it by the 13. And the 1 exponent on the s and we multiply that by 13. And we get r to the 13 over s to the 13. Number 9, simplify using the quotient rule. The quotient rule is when we have a base to the power of some number, say m, divided by the same base to the power of the same or another number, say n. That becomes that base b to the power of the m minus the n. So with a quotient rule, whenever we're dividing like bases, we subtract the exponents. So we get x to the power of 11 minus 1, and that's x to the power of 10. So with the product rule, we added the exponents. With the power rule, we multiplied the exponents. With the quotient rule, we subtract the exponents. And finally, number 12 is a problem to simplify using the zero exponent rule. The zero exponent rule is some base to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Well, that means that x to the power of 0 converts to 1, and we have minus 5 times 1 is equal to minus 5. Number 13, minus 9 without parentheses raised to the power of 2. Now here, since we don't have parentheses, the negative sign is not part of the base. So the negative sign, which is a negative 1, does not get squared. Only the 9 gets squared. So in parentheses we have 9 times 9, which is 81, and the minus sign stays there. So the answer is minus 81. So even though we have an even power here, the result is still negative because the negative is not part of the base. Number 14, a to the power of 2 times a to the power of 5 times a to the power of 7. We're supposed to simplify this. Now, you see that we're multiplying like bases. So, by the product rule, we add the exponents. 2 plus 5 plus 7, which is 14. So, the simplified answer is a to the power of 14. Number 15. Simplify 4 times x to the power of 8 divided by x to the power of 7. Well, we look for our like bases. We see that they're dividing. X and the x are dividing. The result of division is quotient, so we use the quotient rule, where we subtract the exponents. 4 times x to the power of 8 minus 7 is 4 times x to the power of 1, which is the same as 4 times x.